Today what we're going to be doing is actually showing you guys how to enter and find tournaments in your area. We're going to be bringing up the tournament locator. We're going to sort it by different cups and challenges, which are the official tournaments that are kind of like right below regionals. So if you want to play in like regionals or nationals or even qualify for worlds, once Pokemon Champions come out, this might be something to actually take a look at, because this is actually how you qualify for those things. So challenges and cups are basically what premier challenges and mid-season showdown equivalent events were back in the day. If we were to pull up the Pokemon page right here, we have like all of this stuff. This is the official Play Pokemon events page. If you scroll all the way down here, we have something called the Event Finder, right? So the Event Finder, it used to be a little bit better, because look at that error right there. Well, now it used to be a little bit better. This season, they actually overhauled it and made it a lot worse and harder to use. So we're going to talk about how to make it work. So let's just enter our city. I am in Sacramento, which is in Northern California. And what we're going to do is we're going to sort this in the options tab by the video game. You can sort it for card game. You can sort it for video game. You can sort it for Go. We're going to sort it by video game. And we're going to set this to, let's set this to 15 miles. Not that far. And we're going to sort it by cups and challenges. And the way it's going to work is cups give a lot more championship points, and challenges give a little bit less. But this is like the lowest amount of championship points you can actually earn in like official events. So let's just go into search here. And you can also search for like leagues and other stuff like that. So you can see one event pops up. It's one that's pretty near me. It's going to be at a place called Great Escape Games. This is a card shop that's a couple miles from my house. So if I were to click on this, it would show that these are the events that are going to be happening. And if we want to, click on them further, it'll show like the cost of entry. It'll say like the format that you're playing. It'll talk about basically anything you need to know. It has a location, start time. So that's for the challenge. This one's for the cup. So this is going to be a double header. So, and this like you get like, so basically $5 goes to the store and $20 goes into the pot. So if you have like 20 people, that's 20 times 20, it's a decent amount of money going to like the top 4 players in the tournament. So challenges are usually, cups are usually a pretty decent way to earn some money playing Pokemon if you've ever been into stuff like that. Not as lucrative as things like regionals, but normally if you want a cup, you get like $150 usually. That's kind of how it works. So it's kind of nice. The way that I found out about this cup is I'm a member of the NorCal VGC Discord. They posted this nice little picture right here. So it's going to be at Great Escape Games. Tournament starts at about 1 p.m. You have to fill out a team sheet. You have to, you can't use rentals. It's $25 entry for the cup. It's $10 entry for the challenge, which is going to be right after the cup. So normally what you actually see is the challenge will start when top 4 of the cup starts. So if you scrub out of the cup, you can probably just top cut the challenge, because not as many people enter in the challenge. Sometimes people go home, but it usually ends up lasting about 4 hours for both of the events. It's going to be about 3 to 4 rounds, and I would really recommend people that are going to these events bring different teams for the different events. The cup is going to be best of 3. The challenge is best of 1 Swiss with best of 3 like top cut usually. That's usually how they go. Sometimes they're still best of 1 and top cut. It's up to the judge's discretion at that point. But I usually like to bring a serious open team sheet, best of 3 team for the the cup. Those are going to be a lot more serious. And then I try and go like full degenerate like cheese in the challenge. And I'm someone who in previous season has won multiple cups, multiple challenges. I think that they're a great way to get off of the ladder a little bit and experiment a little bit and learning like what your local scenes players are like. You get to experience what Pokemon is like in like a one-on-one setting. Another thing I actually really want to run down before we get into showing what teams I might be taking to these 2 tournaments today is kind of talking about like what things you really need to bring to a tournament. A lot of people don't really know what they need to bring. You're going to need to fill out an open team sheet, and usually the host of the tournament will have those available there. You actually have to write them out. So you have to write down like all of your stats. If we take a look at one of the teams I'm going to be using today, it's going to be Como. So what you need to do is whatever level your Mons are in game. So let's say I have like a level 84 Como. You don't write down what their stats are at level 50. You write down what they are at level 84. So you'd write down like 84. It's in like little boxes. You'd write down like its Terra type, its ability. And if you get these numbers wrong, when there is a team check, once you go into Top Cut, you can actually like lose mons or get mons disqualified from your teams. Like let's say you wrote 236 speed, but your Como in-game has 237. They would, you know, probably either give you a warning or take the Como out of your team, because this makes it so you can't like change your mons in between your rounds and stuff like that to better suit different matchups. So you have to basically lock in your team, and you actually have to fill out 2 team sheets. You have to fill out a team sheet that you hand to your opponent at the start of every game, so try and make them as legible as possible. But another thing you have to do is fill out a team sheet that you don't hand to your opponent. You actually give it to the judge so they can compare the 2 team sheets to make sure that you're not cheating. So be prepared to do a ton of writing. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I would get to these tournaments about 20 minutes early to fill out these team sheets and be ready to write it all down. You know, you can't just show up with like a poke paste in your team. You have to be able to write everything down, so that's pretty important. Another thing I'd recommend is also bringing a controller, and there's certain specific types of controllers that you can bring. You can bring a wired controller, or you can bring you know, a Switch 2 Pro controller, a Switch 1 controller. The reason why I recommend a controller like this is because you can hold your controller down under, kind of under the table, or even over the table if you want. But I don't recommend just holding your Switch. You want your Switch to be stationary, and when you're holding your Switch or something like that, and let's say you want to go to Terra, and you click the little right bumper, your opponent's sitting right across from you. They can see that you're actually going to be clicking that bumper. Yes, you can go down and left, but a lot of people don't do that. I cannot like tell you so many times I've seen people just like flick the bumper when they're tearing, and I was like, there's usually only, since you have the open sheet, you know which one of those mons is going to Terra, right? So if you know that your opponents are going to Terra, and you're not even trying to like snipe them or do anything, it's right in your field of vision because you're right next to them. If you see them do it, you know they're going to Terra, you can punish it. So I would really recommend using a controller if you need to. When you buy like a Switch 2 Pro controller, it comes with a cord, but you also need a secondary attachment. So, you know, you're not going to be playing on a dock like you would at a regional, right? If you were playing on a dock like you would at a regional, you'd be able to plug the USB Type-C into your Switch, right? You'd be able to plug that into your Switch and then plug the standard USB into the dock, right? And that would go into your Switch. If you're playing at a local, though, you don't have that option. There's no dock. So what you need to do is get an adapter. This is a USB to Type-C adapter. You plug this in right here. Now, this allows you to plug this into your Switch or into your Switch 2 or Switch 1 or whatever, and this goes into your controller, right? So you actually can still play with a controller at like whatever local event you do. You know, I've also used like a fight stick at a lot of tournaments. This is how I play with the fight stick, right? The only regional I went to, they made me get a wired controller. Yep. So you can't play wireless. Like you cannot play wireless. That's a big rule at these events because it's kind of dicey and there's a lot of like Wi-Fi signals going on at a lot of different times. So you have to play with a wired controller. It's a thing a lot of people do not know. So I'd greatly recommend getting a wired controller. Otherwise, like don't show your opponent you're going to Terra, right? Another thing I really want to talk about is things that you want to bring with you to these events, other than like the entry and stuff like that. I would really recommend bringing some water, a water or something to like eat or drink. Sometimes people bring like protein snacks or something like that. Yeah, you can use a wireless controller like this. There is a wired option once you connect them into your Switch, so that's why you still need that controller. But I'd really recommend some water or like some granola bars or snacks or something like that. I usually like to have some coffee when I'm at these events in between my water and stuff like that. I know that when I'm playing like a best of 3 and like let's say I'm playing a game and I know it's an auto loss, you can see on my team that I have right here, I put a lot of my protects at the top of my team. So if I'm like losing, and I know this like game 1 or game 2 is like a loss, I'll just put the controller down, get some water, and like let it auto play out for like the next 30 seconds. Let it auto take the full timer. It'll go into protect. It gives me 2 or 3 minutes to like decompress, get some water, and completely reset to neutral while I think of a game plan for my next game. I know that it tilts a lot of my opponents because they don't really understand what's going on. But I know for me, that really lets me calm down and reset back to neutral where I'm in control of the situation. I don't have to worry about like picking my moves and just getting in the next game as fast as possible. I can make the game take as long as possible by putting those defensive moves at the top of my team, and I can drink some water, I can relax, and I can get right in the right game plan to go into the next game. Another thing I would really recommend if you're someone that actually plays a lot and, you know, takes notes is to actually bring a notebook. Write down a lot of different things. I like to write down what my opponent's leads are, what my opponent's moves are, everything that I can see. You basically write down their opponent's team sheet on your sheet, and then you write down like the turn-by-turn play that happens. I know that I have a bunch of videos on YouTube going over all the different types of ways that I like to take notes, and when I take notes, I I take notes in the way that you can read it back, kind of like a showdown replay. You see the turn order that every single Pokemon moves, who knocks out what first. So when you're actually reviewing these games later, because there's no way to record them at like a local, you actually can, correctly remember all of the things that happen. It's really, really important. I would also say, if you're someone that doesn't take notes, don't force yourself to take notes just because everyone is. You don't need to be cool. If it's harder for you to do that, if it affects your gameplay negatively, you do not need to be taking notes, right? That being said, I'm pretty used to it. I like to take notes. I like to write down a bunch of little things about, like, if, we were talking about, like, in between those games that you're losing, or even games that you're winning and you want to take a little while before going into the next game. I think it's important to, like, write down, like, okay, cool, this is the lead I went with. This is what I might try for game 2. This is what I might try for game 3. Just write down little options that you can have in your notes. And I think it's very important to take good detailed notes if that's something that you're, interested in. Last couple things I really think that are pretty important here. Thank you for talking about this. I never knew so much went into competitive play. It's very important. The last thing is you can use headphones at regionals and events. Some people like to use like over-the-ear headphones. Some people like to use like buds. I will say, whatever you use, it has to be wired and connected into your Switch. You can't use wireless headphones because you never know. You could have like a person giving you tips. You could be, you're not supposed to listen to music and stuff like that. So pick a game music that you like and just lock in with the over-ear headphones. This is what you see a lot of players do. I don't necessarily use headphones as much anymore. I actually use earbuds, right? I just use standard earbuds. There's nothing. These are just like foam, right? And this just completely makes everything silent for me, which really helps me focus. Another thing that I used to do, I still do this when I go to regionals. I'm sure if you guys see a lot of the pictures of me at regionals, I have like a jacket or a hood on. I tend to put my buds in and put like a big oversized hoodie on, and that cuts out a lot of my peripherals. It really helps me focus on exactly the game. So if I can take away the distractible noise, if I can take away the distractible visuals, and I can focus on just the game and just my notes, it basically lets me it basically just lets me focus, right? And I feel like I'm a lot better when I'm focused than when I'm having to, look around and manage with all the other thousands of people that are at a regional, stuff like that. So I think those are all like good tips that I would recommend to people. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Those are all things that I would recommend. I know a lot of people will say, like, I'm a fun guy and like I talk and I'm having a good time, but when like the game goes on, I lock in. Like, a lot of people say, like, wow, you're kind of a dick when you play the game. Like, they can't get my attention. Like, I'm locked in. I don't want to be, I don't want to have any L's from any outside factors. I don't want to be distracted by what my opponent's doing, because you actually see a lot of people, they sit at regionals like they're freaking Light from Death Note, and they're going like this, and they're going like this. Like, people get really animated and into what they're doing, and if I can completely cut out what they're doing and focus on what I need to do to win, I'm probably going to get the W. And, if there's someone that's used to using tools like that to tilt their opponents, or they're used to being able to maybe even subconsciously capitalize on the fact that what they're doing is tilting their opponents, and I'm not being tilted, they're going to get tilted, right? So just do your best to focus. And if you're ever at like a local event or a tournament or something like that, and you're not having a good time, this is a piece of advice I would give you. You don't need to win every round. You don't need to win every turn. You don't need to win every game. I think one thing that you need to be focusing on is doing your best to get a result in any situation. Like, for example, you can lose, but like if you played the turn correctly and you honestly, like in reviewing your games by taking good notes and looking back on it, you're like, there was not a single other thing I could have done. I lost to a freeze on turn 1. There wasn't a single thing I could have done. I brought the right mons, I used the right moves, or I just missed. I think you should be happy with like the fact that you did everything right. Pokemon isn't the type of game where like you only have one shot, one opportunity, mom spaghetti. No, you just got to go to another event. Like if you were to run that same turn or same game back 10 times, if you did everything right, you're going to win more games than you lose, which means if you go to more events and you play in more events and you are building up that like that competitive tournament muscle, you're eventually going to be a player that will win at like the highest level. I think that's like really, really important. You don't need to get stressed out by like making a misplay, but what I would do is really try your best to make every turn count and be okay with the result no matter what happens. If you did everything you could with the team that you brought and you still got last place, well, that's probably the team's fault, right? Because if you played every turn correctly with all the tools that you had and you got last place, that might be a team building issue. It's not necessarily a skill issue, it's a team building issue. So the next tournament you go to, you might need to like completely revamp how you're approaching your team building for these type of tournaments. Bring a best of 3 team for a best of 3, bring a best of 1 team for a best of 1, stuff like that. And that's how you will improve, incrementally. Anyways, just starting to go into locals in my area, great experience and good to get some practice in person. Yeah, I think like meeting your local scene too, when you actually do go to events, everyone in your like state kind of groups together and you're all like teammates and everyone helps each other build and stuff like that. Do people usually drop in those 2 games? I would say most people that have been around the block a little bit do. It depends on how many people are in your tournament and if any X2s can make cut. If, like, let's say that it's a 5-round tournament and there's going to be 2 to 3 X2s in cut. In that situation, if you've taken your first loss in the first round, you would probably not make cut unless you won your next 3 and then lost your last one. So if you went like lose, win, win, you would not make cut. Your tiebreakers wouldn't be as good because the majority of players that you're playing in your tournaments are on the lower end. But if you like won your first 3 rounds and lost your last 2, you will always be in cut because you beat 3 people and then you have 2 really high ranked players on your tiebreakers. Tiebreaker system is a whole other thing. I can get into a video like that if you guys want to see something like that eventually. Yeah, I know you were talking a lot about stuff. I was very caught up. Let me go back and read it. Say, having met you, you're a very cool dude between rounds. You talk when you can, and if you have a bad set, you let someone know to tell them to catch you later after you reset. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, yeah, I'm someone that like whenever in between rounds, I like to completely leave the venue and like sit outside, listen to music. I used to watch my replays back when you could save them back on the DS. It's everyone handles these things differently. Like a lot of people just stand around and complain about their bad RNG. For me, I like to like re-lock in and do everything I can to like get back in game mode to just completely reset and go into the next game. Some people really like locals. And I'm someone who I used to have to drive 2.5 hours to play in like an 8-person local tournament in like 2013, 2014. And 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back, and I've done all that. I don't really like locals anymore. As someone who streams the game a lot, I really only play about like an hour session. So like when I have to sit at a local and like I can finish my games in 10 minutes and then I have to wait 40 minutes for a game and then I play 10 minutes and I have to wait 40 minutes for a game. And I just don't particularly like that. I think a lot of people really get excited for locals, and it's weird. I get excited for locals for like card games and other things that I like, but for VGC, it's not as fun. Gotta drive just short of 2 hours for locals. That's why I only started this summer. It makes it not as fun when you lose. That's the thing, yeah. I'm very fortunate to be someone. I was talking about this recently. I usually always get points. It's very rare that like I don't get points from an event. And I would say I'm a terrible loser when that happens. I am a poor sport if I don't get points. Because I'm so used to just always getting them every time, That's just how it works for me. I would say I get points 9 times out of 10. I'll get top 8. Or, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But, like, I usually always get points. And, like, when I say, like, I'm a really poor sport, I'm not an asshole to my opponent. Like, I'm just, like, salty, like, alone on the way home the whole time, Like, I'm just kind of pissed for the rest of the day. And so, like, that's one of the reasons why I don't really go to locals is, okay, this is something that you have to take your time and your money and your gas and every other thing and go do this thing for a day. Where if you win, I don't even, like, really feel, like, really excited if I win. Like, if I win, oh, that's cool. Like, realistically, if there's 20 people here and I'm the person with the most worlds invites and the most regional top cuts, I actually should probably win, right? And so when you don't win, even if you get like top 4, I don't feel great, because like I'm not using the points for anything. I'm not going to worlds this season. So it's just kind of like, like I'm gonna pay money to feel bad with the risk of feeling absolutely terrible. That's why I don't really go to locals that often. But, you know, that's probably just a me thing. Like, I've also been doing these for like 15 years, you know? Yeah, let's talk about the team that I'm going to play in the best of 3 event. I've actually shown this team before. It's the one that features Paldean, Tauros, and Como. I actually used this team and got top 8 in a Reg H tour like a month and a half ago. Like, normally I like to build, like, teams, yeah, about 3 weeks ago. Not even a month ago. So I used this team and got top 8 in, like, a 100-plus player, like, online Reg H Best of 3 tour. I really liked this team. I thought Tauros was a very good mon in the meta. So we're going to be trying this team again. This is, like, the only team that I had in my game that I had actually tested in open sheet. So this is what I'll use. It features very, very aggressive Tauros. I think it's a good mon in the meta. Features in Cinderella, so we're playing a little bit of balance. Goldango, very, very standard stuff. And then, like, Como. I think Como is very underrated. The mixture of Como and Goldango, like, if you want to beat the Como, you need fairies. If you want to beat the Goldango, you know, you need, you know, other things that I can beat with Como. These two complement each other very well with, like, a double Intimidate, double Fake Out, you know, Healing Core with, like, last little bit is, like, a little bit of, like, Redirection, Speed Control, and Electabuzz. So I think it's a very cool team. The team I'm going to be playing in the second event, which is Best of 1, I'm using a Best of 1 team. And so that looks a little bit like this. So we are using a little bit more choice items because we're forcing our opponents into a 2-2-2 situation where they don't really know what we're doing. Are you going to be going Whimsicott Typhlosion and going, like, turn 1, Sunny Day, Eruption? Or are you going to be going, like, you know, something like Lilycole turn 1? Are you going to be going, like, Pult Electabuzz turn 1? Are you even going, like, Whimsicott Pult into, like, a mid-game Typhlosion with, like, a closed Lilligant or Buzz? There's so many different options here. So we're trying to win this one on, like, turn 2 or turn 3. And that's just kind of, like, what we're looking for here. I made this team. I used it in another tournament as well. Where was that? That was... We're looking... I used it in... Actually, it was a ways back that I used it. Right here, I got first place in a ladder tour with it. Do people ever use Frisk Typhlosion in Best of 1? They do if it's closed sheet, which is what I used it in this tournament. But since this is all open sheet Best of 1, we're going to be using Blaze, right? But I got first with this team in a ladder tour. It was a good tournament. I like the team a lot. I feel very comfortable with this team. Like, if we were to talk about, like, teams that fit my play style for, you know, Reg H, like, this is definitely, like, what I like. The problem with this team is you really can't win a best of 3 with it. Unless you, like, really get the reads right and get the leads right and stuff like that. You're basically going matchup roulette and you're just going, like, hopefully you don't lead this, right? And you're just punishing stuff like that. But I do think this is a very cool team. If they have, like, good matchups in a Pult, it gets a little... So if they have, like, 2 or 3 fairies or, like, multiple fairy Terras, this makes the match a little bit harder and you go into, like, a Lilligant version. But yeah, those are, like, my thoughts on the teams that I'm going to be playing. If you guys have any questions about what it takes to, you know, go to a League Cup or League Challenge, like, let me know. I'm probably going to be recording a lot of, like, what it looks like, what the open sheets and stuff look like when we get there. So I'm probably going to do that today. And, yeah, wish me luck. Palafin Archrain. I'd love to see no Basca Legion, so that's actually really good for me. So Electabuzz is going to be super good here. Hope that's not Stalwart Arch, but, like, Electabuzz is really good here. I'm trying to think of exactly what we need to be doing. Palafin, we should be able to bully correctly with Como. So if I were to go Como off my rip and lead, like, maybe, I'm thinking, like, Electabuzz Como is where I'm really looking. Let me just move some stuff around and take a look at my stats real quick. I like Electabuzz Como. Seems fine with me. And then, like, maybe Tauros. I don't hate Tauros in this matchup either. It outspeeds almost all of those. It's great into Palafin. And then, like, maybe... I think Incin's not terrible. We have Ghost Incin on this team. But I also think, like, Rilla is usable. I think Goldango is also pretty good into Arch. If we outspeed, which I don't know if we do, which I don't think that we do. Say bring Rilla? Rilla's okay, but I don't really need Rilla here. Like, Rilla's really bad into... I'll do it for you, but I don't think Rilla's correct. I think Rilla's too basic for this one. I think Goldango would be better. Just, like, all those mons take neutral from Make It Rain or better, and the ones that don't, you can just Shadow Ball. It's, like, Goldango's cracked in this matchup. Because they have to be, like... We'll see what the Dragonite does. I want to see what Dragonite does. What we're going to do here is we're going to Clang Soul, and we're going to Electro Whip to make the Dragonite slower and break Multiscale, and then next turn we'll be able to just Flash Cannon it. I could just Protect here too. let's see what they want to do. I want to see what they do with Dragonite. I'm worried about Haze, but I'm not that worried about Haze. And I'm going to Terra. I don't think I need to, but I will. Just because I want to use my... I could have went Follow Me and Fairy Terra. But I didn't want to. I want to actually hit the Electro Web. That Palpin's staying in. That's nutty, dude. Dude, he's raw. So this is where if this was an open sheet tournament, I'd be able to see if they had Haze Dragonite. Or I'd be able to see if that's like Scarf or Banded Palafin. You know, I'd be able to see a lot of this stuff. So let's see it. The Palafin should be outspeeding my Buzz here, I think. Unless it's like full bulk. Flip turn, there it is. Awesome. Okay, so if I would have protected an Electro Web, he would have took like half his health for no reason. So these should always be targeting the Buzz in those situations, I think. But let's see what they want to do here. They know we're setting up. There's a Pelipper pivoting in on an Electro Web value. And he's going to go for a Scale Shot, right? Oh, I outspeed the Dragonite. So even if you do... Oh, we just OHKO Pelipper! That's Scarf Pelipper. We OHKO'd it. Bro, Electro Web busted. And let's see if the Dragonite actually gets a speed drop unless it's like cloaked. Hurricane. Oh, God. I just cloaked. We lived though. Orb. Okay, wait, he did get a speed drop. I just wasn't paying attention. That's weird. But still, Cloak Dragonite. Not Cloak. Hurricane Dragonite. Weird, sorry. Alright, so I just have to Follow Me now. And I have the Rill in the back. Whoever brought Rill, they were gamers. Alright, so now they're too slow to use Haze correctly. We're just going to Follow Me. And rip the scales. You can go Fairy Terra, that's fine. Can't Fairy Terra both, though. And Electabuzz can eat this, and I can just Flash Cannon your Dragonite whenever I feel like it. Cool. Is that Fairy? Fighting. Yeah, okay. That works for me. Clang, clang. Alright. Oof. Dompied. Dang, Electabuzz could have just slapped him, bro. You didn't Jet Punch either. Are you Drain Punching? It's good tech. Maybe like Wave Crash? Yeah, Drain Punch is good. I'm just not going to let you hit the Como, though. Yep. It's good damage. Great damage. Love Drain Punch Palafin. One of my favorite sets. My favorite way to play Palafin. And then Arch. That was probably Inner Focus Dragonite with Life... Because they have the Life Orb, you know? It's kind of weird. Alright, we're fine. I want to see if he uses Jet Punch here, but, like, I'm not going to let him Jet Punch my Como, you know? Oh, no Jet Punch. Cool. Yeah, we're just gamers. Let's see if he has Stalwart. Let's see that. No Stalwart. Damn. Dude, that would have been funny. I actually think Stalwart Arch is something I might play for the GC. Like a full Arch Rain team, like standard Arch Rain, but they're like Stalwart Arch. That's what I'm thinking. Like full, like AV, like super standard, but then you're just Stalwart. Please, I'm thinking, I actually have the team built. I'm thinking about it. Like Stamina is cool. It's good, but like Stalwart is... Like, when, alright, you know when they lead like Mouse Dango? What if you just went like turn 1, Helping Hand, Electric Terra, just pop their Dango through the Friend Guard. Easy. Easy, and like Arch outspeeds Dango by 1, so they can't go for that whole like Super Fang double tap you with like Shadow Ball and stuff like that. I think there's so much good tech there. I think for a GC, for a close sheet best of 1, that's really cool tech. Helping Hand, Electric Terra. I'm surprised you're not on the Greninja train. Greninja is terrible. Like, Greninja's not a good mon. Ninetales is a spicy, dicey little guy over there. Don't particularly like that. I think I'm going to lead with Tauros. What do you do if I lead like Tauros Goldango? What do you actually do against that? Because I can just pivot out Tauros for Incin, protect Dango, give me a fake out pin. And then I'm actually wondering if I want Electabuzz. They have a lot of AoE. They have Dango, they have Arcanine, they have Ninetales. That's a ton of AoE. I don't think this does me any favors. I don't think this actually does me any favors. I think you just need Buzz, but like I don't like Buzz here at all. Like I really dislike this Pokemon in this matchup. I don't feel like it's getting me anything extra. But I don't think I need Rilla either. I guess that's just Como then. Como's a good pivot into Arcanine. There we go. That's fair. You know, it's good into Rilla too. Yeah, I'll use Como. I don't dislike Como here, but I don't think I need it. But I don't think I need Electabuzz here either. We're talking about Greninja. Someone's talking about it. Top got the last regional on a rain team. I mean, yeah, people know those things work, you know. Yeah, Moringa Berry. I don't agree with Moringa Berry Garg. I don't like that tech. It's too deep. I think Citrus is just better. If you're gonna play Citrus, you know. All right, so Intimidate is usable. I mean, I could just pop off. What are you gonna do? Freeze dry? Like, go nuts. Tauros is faster than Dragonite here too. Wondering if, like, what would be the problem with just, like, this play. This blocks freeze dry. I don't think they have freeze dry, but, like, I think Tauros might be a problem. So, like, would they freeze dry? Veil's absolutely fine. Give me the KO on this Ninetales. Like, I'll take those. Easy peasy. And are you scale shotting my Tauros? Tailwind. Oh, that's bad. I could have got free damage. Ugh, never lucky. But getting this Ninetales off the board just lets me use Como correctly. Like... easy. And we wouldn't have been able to break the Dragonite if, like, let's say Tauros came in and went for Raging Bull, which I can now. But, like, Raging Bull plus Make It Rain probably wouldn't have KO'd Dragonite. Let's see what they got here. Yeah, this is fine. I'll be a gamer. Let's see it. You can go Grass Terra. You got Grass Terra Terra Blast, bro? You gaming? Psychic Seed Gar or Hard TR. I don't know if you go Hard TR there. You just go Garg, you know? Arcanine's a choice here. I wonder if they're going to Rock Slide me. Like, this board's pretty bad into Tauros. The Dragonite's already at -1. The Arcanine could be Amulet or Banded, but, like... yeah, that's right. A Tauros, bro. Yeah, double pivot. Cool, I'm going to break your screens, bro. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Rillaboom, the Unrivaled. Not bad. Coming in on a Fake Out. Sorry, on a Fake Out. On a Intimidate. Love this for us. Yeah, boy, playing balance out here. Double Intimidate Dragonite. Not bad, not bad. So we've seen all 4 of their mons now. Great stuff. Scale Shot. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to be fine. Oh my gosh, yeah, we're fine. That's a defense drop on that Dragonite, too. 3, 4. 4. Ha! Ha-ha! Hey-her. Okay. Break screens. Value. Shatter into screens, bro. Okay. This is a really, really important turn. I doubt there's Hurricane on that team. They would have used it that turn. Let me think about how I want to do this. Damn it! I got my 50-50 wrong. That sucks. It's 50-50. Like, I really think they should have pivoted out the -2 Dragonite, but it's fine. I guess I could have just Parting Shot of the Rilla. That probably would have been a better play, but, like, it's fine. Yep. And we have lefties, Dango, so we're actually fine here. Oh, crit one now. M5 hits never lucky, but, like, lefties plus Protect, plus, like, a Protect, you know, we'll be back up at full. Yep, never lucky. And we actually have to hard swap. We can't go, like, Parting, because they can Rock Slide. I have Water Terror here, too, if I need it. Last turn, Tailwind. What if I went with, like... I vibe with that. Just rip the band-aid off this turn. This is giving me a weakness to Rilla, but like they're not pivoting in Rilla. And if I can chunk one of those, if I can chunk them so low that like it's not really a problem anymore, I think I'm good. We're gonna do Rock Slide, like Fire Blitz, like I think I'm fine. Please no flinch? Nah, I never get flinched. I think a lot of people would expect the passive play here, and I just don't need to. I don't need to play passive this turn. If I played passive here and they pivoted in the Rilla and got a fake up pin on me, I'd like lose the game. See, like I really like, because now I actually still can play passive and have a good turn. Fire Blitz Dango? Yeah, see, like, oh, value. Gaming. No flinch? No flinch. And he's orbed. Awesome. So orbed there. We know that it's not clear amulet. Well, we knew it wasn't clear amulet, but like I was wondering if it was like maybe something else, like a choice item. Yeah, that guy's way too low now. Perfect. And now I outspeed the Arcanine. How's it going? It's going good. See, I wonder if they're going to go protect Arcanine here. Protect Arcanine and... pivot in Rilla? Let's see. No. They're probably just protecting Arcanine and tailwinding. That's what I would imagine. Damn. All right, that's fine. I'll take my setup move. We take those. Rillaboom. This is the last turn of Grassy Terrain too, so like I'm not worried about anything weird there. Scale Shot at me. Whoa. MP baby. Cool. Big heal. So we'll just protect Dango for one turn. Go for probably a parting. Actually, this is a Lost Aggressor. That's how it worked. Yeah. So protect here. I'm just going to knock off the Rillaboom. If you pivot in the Arcanine, it's dead. And if you stay in and lose your best. And then I just... You can go protect and Tailwind. I think that's fine. I don't mind pivoting out the Dango. Like, I think that's another thing that's like that's fine with me. I do not mind losing this Dango. I still think I got the value. Once I get the Rilla off the board, it's going to be a lot easier to get the value here. Let's see it though. Get your Tailwind up. You got a Tailwind. I don't even know if -1 Rilla non-terrain Woodhammer breaks our Dango. If we're at full. Because like I would just pivot in Tauros that turn, you know. Fake out Dango, yep. Weird you wouldn't just go to like Tailwind Woodhammer. Like I would have just Tailwind. I mean, maybe they don't know how fast we are, but they should be able to know. Awesome, this is great damage. Goodbye, AB. So that's within range. Damn, he would just let himself get Flare Blitz too. He knows we don't have it though. Life Orb? Yeah, I'm not a fan of Life Orb. I like lefties. I wonder how much damage we actually like correctly mitigate here. Do I live this if you're at -2 or -1? Yeah. I don't need to let you just Woodhammer me in the face. There it is. He's blowing Fire Terror. That's why we didn't Wisp. We baited it. Now Tauros checks this thing. It's good in terrain. Yeah, I like it. It's really good into Baskin Legion. And then I have... Oh man, it sucks they missed that skill shot. It does. They were like -4. Yeah, so I have Electric, Terra, Life Orb, Wild Charge too. So like I can actually bully other stuff. Okay, so we can come back in with the Dango if we want. Or I can come in with Tauros. Or... yeah, I love Tauros here. Actually, I really like this. This is going to be clean. Because now they can't try the Dragonite. Awesome. So now we just protect Como, pivot in the Instinct, get another Intimidate. Yep, that's all good. That's all good stuff here. It is, yeah. Double Intimidate's pretty busted. Yeah, it's pretty simple too, and like the fact that Tauros is a base 100 means like you really bully like Indeedee Male, Annihilate, Hisui Arcanine, and stuff like that. Yeah, I like my Insyn spread. It actually is really fast. If you can't tell, my Insyn set's really fast. So that Dragonite is at -1,000,000. -6, dude. Cool. If I take out one Mon, I win, basically. Once I get, like, if I get a KO on Arcanine here, I'll be fine. Good protect. I can just do it next turn. Will has no AV right now. This might just KO. Damn, almost. Really can't protect. I'm looking at what I need to do to win here. I think you just full send this, both of these. The Arcanine is at -1. I can eat a Rock Slide. And then I just send out Dango and win. Yep. Oh, outspeed both of them because Como busted. Dude, Como busted. Yeah, Tauros is great. It does not go on a TR team, though. Nope. Does not. It's a base 100 speed. It's way too fast. You'd be better off like a Gyarados, I'd say. Cool. Yeah, we got the 4-stock. Right? We didn't even lose anything. Tauros is good, though. Awesome. Is there any way that we lose here? No, Dango just wins. Doesn't really matter what they do. Cool. Wins up. Como busted. This team is so good. I'm gonna win the cup, guys. That is a team that we can play against for Reg H. Very spicy dicey. I gotta worry about Trick Room. I gotta worry about Meowscarada. Let's see. I guess I could put Sash back on my Whims now if I wanna. Do I want Sash on this Whims? I do actually. I really want Sash on this Whims. So we'll do that after this match. Are these guys good here? Are we gaming? I think we are. I can't hit Sarilege with that. Let me think. I don't have Taunt on the Buzz. But I don't need it. Do we win the Scarf Lilligant? I think Sucker Punch Pult is just good here. Just like, Sucker Punch is fine. Cool. If you want to trigger me, I will Torkoal you into 8,000 pieces of death. Let's go. Let's go. I need to put Sash back on my Whims. We'll do that after this game. Pokevent. He's like, ha, you can't stop me. I have a Flash Fire Mon. If they even are Flash Fire. Do I even care? Nope. I'm thinking. It's open sheet though, so they can still see what you're doing. If we're playing it for open. Awesome. This is to tap Sash, if they have Sash. Yep. Just respect. I'm just being respectful of Sash out here. That's the mon that's the problem. I'm not in any hurry. Yeah, it's for open. Tailwind TR is devious. Oh yeah, it's good, right? I really like it. I very much. Oh, he just hyper beamed me. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that if you really want to. What do I do on my screens like this? I could do it, you know. I could do this a little bit, you know. Cool. You can hit this Wims. I don't really care. New local game stores hosting locals and Poke Cups. They said they have enough players to do so. Might have a new local. Hey, good luck. You can hit this Wims, bro. You can hit it. Stone Edge on the Torkoal swap, bro. That's so weak. Oh, that's so weird. That's fine. TR, baby, let's go. Rip it good. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. This is still stronger. Alright. This is the double tap Sash if it's Sash. Let's go. Choo-choo! Let's go. Cooking. Torkoal busted. When the Typhlosion Whimsicott team just trick rooms you, it's the best. Oh yeah, I've missed that KO too. Tigaton's pretty weak. Sylveon might not die here. But the Moonblast will go into it, so we'll be fine. Heatwave wouldn't have got the KO either. So now, once you get to this point, then you switch over to Heatwave. It's better than the, Oh, that's fine. Never gaming. Cool. And he's Orb too. Nice. Nice. Show me last mon hat, Torkoal under speed, and just Heatwave. Close it out. Love this team, dude. This team is so good. I need to make my Wims Ghost Terra, and I need to make my Wims be a Sash instead of the set we have. Pixelate Hyper Beam. We call that the Friendship Cannon. This is fine. You don't need to miss any moves. You can sucker, but like, I'm about to be cooking out here. Fire Terra, dude. He's cooking. Fire Terra Masquerade is actually cooking. No, because it's like Fairy Pixelate. It's like, it's pink. It's friendship. This is going to do a lot. Bro, that's your whole health bar. That's the power of Life Orb, by the way. Charcoal would have done about 45, about 60%. You take out my Wims? I'm so sad. I cry every time. I cry every single time. Lefties, huh? Dude, he cooking. Yo, thank you for the follow. Oh, is that Shell Bell? Not even lefties, dude, bro. Pokemon forgot some Eves. Nah, dude, we're just Life Orb. We're just Torkoal. Cool. GG's. Imagine we were Sash there. I know, right? So we gotta put the Sash in the Wims. Change our Terra. Perfect. Yeah, I love the Life Orb over Charcoal. I think a lot of people like to use Charcoal Torkoal so they can utilize Protects and other moves, but the Life Orb boosts all your moves, right? So if I had like an Earth Power, it would still be stronger. All my other moves are a lot stronger. 1.3 is such a bigger boost, right? For a Life Orb. And then it doesn't negatively affect Eruption until like 3 or 4 ticks. As long as you're above like 65, 70% health, so 3 Eruptions, which are usually enough to win the game anyways, Life Orb's just better. All right, let's try that. Gaming. Let's see if this works. I think we got shots. It's a cool team. Pex is good. Wide Guard's good. We have... If I wanted to lead Typhlosion Electabuzz, I think I could win the game. Bro, game would have been over. Actually, I still think I'm in a good spot. Am I more afraid of Pex or Gastro? That's the question. I'm not really afraid of... I'm more afraid of Gastro, because it can Ice Beam. I don't think Gastro would yawn if it's going to be paired with a Pex. So... You're going to go Fire Terror here. Or Flying. Yeah, Pex is good. Pex is a good mom. I'll be ripping it out here. Rip it good. But I don't care if you poison me, bro. I don't care. Poison me, please. See what happens. And we don't want to we don't want to go after the Pex yet, because Pex would be more likely to Baneful. Right, so we don't need to sleep out of that. Protect Gastro, wow, weird. It's fine. You're just going to get double tapped on your Pex unless you're Banefuling. Okay. Yep, so this double tap darts. This is Adamant Pulp, by the way. So unless you're Citrus, you might actually go down unless you have heavy defense investment. Heavy defense investment it is. Whew, so close. I don't care. What are you going to do? Like poison? Toxic? Like go nuts. I'm scarfed. Like, was this worth it? Was this everything you thought it would be? He almost got double tapped. And I don't really care if they have Sylveon, because like we have great mons in the back. Is that Black Sludge or lefties? Black Sludge, cool. So they can't go like Fairy or anything weird. Yeah, Lilligant does like not care at all about being poisoned. He's like, hi, I broke Sash. And it's like, I'm scarfed. You saw my Lilligant move before the Gastro, bro. You saw it. I'm maximum degeneracy today. That board is far too passive. That's got to pivot out the Gastro. Is this Sylveon? You're just going to lose your Pex for turn 1? Amoonguss. Cool. I get free damage on Amoonguss. Awesome. Painful. I'm just going to double tap this Amoonguss. Oh my gosh. Hello, how are the games there? Everyone, absolutely amazing. This is the best day of my life. Look at this free damage. Amoonguss. Say hello to my little friend. Oof. Ooh. Are you Citrus too? It's so over. I know, right? Way too over. I'm going to double tap him next turn. He's not Citrus or Pinch or anything weird. That's crazy. Lefties? Do I just pivot out the Lilligant? Like, I just leave it in here, bro. I think the right play is to actually still Sleep Powder the Amoonguss in case they Fairy Terror me. Oh my gosh. Imagine if darts could miss. Dude, that would suck. That would suck. Gastro, yeah. It's fine. If the Amoonguss protects the Gastro... Oh, he's doing it again! Dude, he's like, how is he making these reads every turn? Oh, this is the funniest game of my life, bro. Bro has fallen for the same play every single time. Dragon Darts is so... Dude, Adamant Pult is degenerate, man. Only like 10 more turns and my Lilligant faints from Toxic, guys. Maybe he doesn't know how darts work. I mean, he about to learn today. He about to learn today. Who's next? Dragonite. Okay. Alright, now we're cooking. Now we're using some wild oats. I mean, to be fair, I haven't had Sleep Powder this whole game. He's correctly baited all of my Sleep Powders. But that's fine. If you protect this Amoonguss, bro, double protect the Amoonguss. I just double tap your Dragonite. Alright, so we're going to be able to break the Toxapex here. Maybe. Protects Dragonite. Bro, I laugh. Terra Dragonite. So it's going to go Fairy probably, right? That's usually how these guys work. But then you're just going to lose your Pex, bro. It's normal. Oh, he wants that. He wants that. He woke up and chose violence. I respect you. I see what you're putting down. E-Speed. Cool. I don't even know if you break Lilligant here unless you're banded. Oh, he's going after Pult. No, I'm bulky. Dragapult's kind of a good Pokemon. I don't know if anyone told you that it's a good Pokemon, but like it's actually like a really good Pokemon. And you should put some respect on my name, actually, last time I checked. Yeah, my Pult spread is right here. Right here is my Pult spread. So, did we miss our Sleep Powder? I think we did, right? This is a win-win for your boy. You can't stop both of them, bro. You can't. Yup. Uh-oh. That's fine. Come on. Come on, Lilligant. Shamon. Yeah, he's getting a lot of value. There it is. Not that it was, like, required, but we take those. Cool, and now we win. And that's how winning is done. Finally. Lilligant holds. Alright, so what we do is we erupt, pop both. They're going to protect the Amoonguss. You pivot in the Pex, or pivot in the Electabuzz. They're going to go for a wide guard, and we will say, faint these. GG, shake my hand. They can't tear out of it. Aquaberry won't save them. We're Spexed. Cool. They're going to protect Amoonguss and lose their Dragonite this turn. Big Buzz. Oh, okay, that's fine. You can just lose your... You can make your Pex take a ton of damage, too. I don't care. Fine with me. Pex probably dies to this. I'm Spexed. Bro. I'm Spexed, bro. You good? He ain't good, bro. He ain't okay. Alright, he's fine. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. We are clicking eruption, baby. He's like, heh, didn't you know that I have wide guard? Didn't you know? I know things. Let's see what they got. I should have done more, by the way. I think that's a really low roll. Faint busted. He's thinking about it. Protect. He goes for the double protect Amoonguss. Not today, homie. No Baneful, no nothings. Okay, alright. That's fine. Pop it. Pop it. Like it's hot. No white cards. Nothing. Dunzo. Wasted on Route 1. We got the tech. We got the games. Cool. You have a Sleep Dragonite left, my friend. Dude, Faint's so good. Just want to check something here. That was a massive low roll on that first eruption. I outspeed here anyways. Battle's canceled. Wins up! Yeah. Bust. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'll probably tweet the results on something on Twitter or share it on Discord or something. But yeah, we'll see how I do in the tournament today. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And wish me luck. All right, so I just got to the venue. It's like 12:15. Venue opened up at 12. This gives me plenty of time to write out my open team sheets, see who's around, and make any like last minute tweaks I might have to make for my team, depending on the amount of Trick Room players present. So wish me luck. Here we go. All right, so I just got done with the tournament. I did manage to get top 4. There wasn't that many people, so it's not like a humongous, you know, outstanding achievement. I fought a really cool Alolan Ninetales Garchomp AV Dragonite team with Ice Spinner that was really cool. I fought against like a Semi-Room team that had like Kilowattrel and like Tailwind with Ursaluna and Porygon. I ended up fighting the winner of the tournament. I ended up just giving them the win because I got a pair up into them, so I figured they could just have the win and, you know, basically win the tournament for free. I'm not going to take a win from anybody if I don't need to, considering I also don't need the points this season since I'm not trying to push for a Worlds invite. And as for the challenge, I decided not to play the challenge. I just decided to get out of there. I didn't really want to take the time to write out another team sheet. It takes like 15 minutes of like writing and making sure all your stats and everything are perfect. I didn't really feel like playing best of 1 and I didn't want to wait for it to start after like Top Cut was finished. So I decided to get on out of there, but that was the full tournament. I ended up, you know, using that Como team that you guys saw me use a little bit earlier. It's a pretty cool team. It was a lot of fun. If you guys have any questions for how to enter your local tournaments, you know, if you guys are going to be playing in tournaments when Champions comes out, if you're trying to prep for when Champions comes out so you know everything or you have everything at your fingertips that you need to know, let me know in the comments. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace out. I'll see you guys next time.